This video shows you how to clean and lubricate the elevation and tilt mechanisms in your professional cabinet saw. The mechanisms for tilt and elevation in your professional cabinet saw need occasional cleaning and lubrication. How often depends on how much you're using your saw and the dustiness of the environment. Check, clean, and lubricate the following items periodically: worm gear, pinion gears, and the threaded rod for the elevation mechanism. Worm gear and front trunnion for the tilt mechanism. Front trunnion bracket. Rear trunnion bracket. Shaft bushing for the elevation handwheel. Shaft bushing for the tilt handwheel. First, turn off the saw and unplug power. Remove the lockout key. Start with the blade elevation set to minimum. Access the shaft bushing for the elevation handwheel through the motor cover. Set the tilt between 15 and 20 degrees. Clean any dust and debris from the area. Apply a light penetrating oil between the bushing and the collar. Turn the elevation handwheel several times to distribute the oil. Access the shaft bushing for the tilt handwheel through the access panel on the right side of the saw. Clean the area. Again, apply the oil. Turn the tilt handwheel several times to distribute the oil. Access the front and rear trunnion brackets through the motor cover. Tilt the blade to 45 degrees. Clean and then apply a coat of grease. Wipe off any excess grease. Repeat for the rear trunnion bracket. Clean and then apply a coat of grease. Wipe off excess grease. The gear sets for the elevation and tilt will need periodic cleaning and greasing. Access the gear sets for elevation through the rear access panel. Clean the worm gear and the pinion gear. Turn the elevation handwheel to access all the gear teeth in turn. Apply a coat of grease. Wipe off the excess grease. Turn the elevation handwheel several times to distribute the grease. Now set the tilt to about 30 degrees and set the elevation to maximum. Clean the elevation threaded rod and the pinion gear. Turn the elevation handwheel to access all the gear teeth in turn. Apply the grease. Wipe off the excess grease. Once again, turn the elevation hand wheel several times to distribute the grease. Access the gear sets for tilt through the motor cover. First, use a 5mm hex wrench to remove the cable clamp and shift the cable out of the way. Increase tilt to 45 degrees to access the worm gear. Clean the gears. Apply grease to the worm gear. Turn the tilt hand wheel several times to distribute the grease. Reattach the cable clamp. Finally, the primary and secondary elevation shafts do not need lubrication because the bushings are impregnated with oil. We have now cleaned and lubricated the tilt and elevation mechanisms for your professional cabinet saw. Thanks for watching. If you have questions, contact SawStop Service.